digging out a few spuds. I'm hoping these are better than the previous rows I've dug up. They did get watered. These Kestrel and Osprey, these two rows here, did get watered when there were some leaves left on the crop, as opposed to just being watered, hopefully so we could dig the ground. The tops have just about died down. They're not going to do much more growing, and if possible we'd quite like to use this bed for planting up some autumn onions, which will be next month. So I'm hoping it digs over. I'm also hoping there's some potatoes on these plants under here. I'm going to start and see what I can find now. One thing we've had loads of this year, if it's not potatoes, are ants. Just look at this lot under there that I've just uncovered. Absolutely millions of them. They're going to be very disappointed now as I dig them up. But from experience, they don't half have a bite. They're frantically now trying to get those eggs or whatever they are away to safety. And on the plus side, having just pulled a bit of weed control fabric back, I've seen some proper potatoes. Look, not dug anything like that out in the 4 or 5 rows I've dug so far. Looks as though we might have something worth digging up under here. So I'll do a little bit of video of getting these 2 roots out. These look like proper potato roots, and look like they might restore a bit of faith in my potato growing method. Our kestrels are now out. I've just tipped them out of the bucket onto this grass path to dry off a bit for the rest of the afternoon. That's much better than I expected. I'd expect even more in a normal year, but this year now got to the stage where any usable potatoes are sort of a shock. The ground they came out of is very hard and dry. Don't think it will break down at the moment to get our winter onions in, but with, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks, maybe we'll get some rain before then. Maybe I'll have to relent and try watering it, hoping not to have to do that. So moving on to the next row, which is osprey, which is hidden under that weed control fabric. Our row of Nadine, no they're not, they're osprey. Our row of osprey potatoes are now out. It was once again fairly hard ground. I've got no intention of digging it just at the moment because this bed is one that we're going to split into two, so we're going to have a path down the middle, in fact down the line of where our Nadine potatoes are. So I'm now going to dig out our Nadine and then mark up the path so I can dig this part here with an edge lining up with this side of the path. Whether I'll dig it today, I don't know. It's hot and muggy. Looks a bit like it could rain, but it often looks like this and nothing happens, or we get the minutest bit of drizzle that just wets a few leaves. This is what we get now. I've got the spuds up. Looks a bit of a mess, got a bit of sorting out to decide where the path's going, but it's now like spotting of rain. It's no good as far as watering allotment goes, but just miserable. You know, it makes you want to pick all the spuds up in case they suddenly get absolutely soaked, but don't suppose they will. But in any case, I'm now going to go around and pick them up. So just a recap, our 3 rows were first of all kestrel, and they did quite a nice set, best I'd lifted so far. Next row was Nadine, and whilst not as good as kestrel, they were second best of the year so far. Yeah, then it's okay if it starts to rain. So there are osprey. Not quite as many potatoes and maybe a little bit more damage, but this year that is excellent. And the final ones were Nadine, and they were pretty poor. But when we started watering this bed, the tops had already given up on Nadine, and as you can see, they're all fairly small. The 2 rows left in this bed are Cara, which are the greener ones, and Rooster. I'm hoping they're going to be something like the same sort of crop as osprey and kestrel, which would be a nice, pleasant surprise given the poor crops from Casablanca, our trial potatoes, and Vivaldi. We're going to have some whopping cauliflowers on here. Look like they'll be ready in the next few days to me. And I've got the feeling it will be a cauliflower glut, but we'll manage them somehow. half the spuds are out now in this bed. It's its last year of being one large bed, it's now split into two, so you might be able to see I've got some pegs marked out, and this bed has been dug along a straight line to a string line there, so hopefully it'll be much easier to work, and we're still hoping that this side will be dug over and I'll get some winter onions in, at least part of it. I've dug it over after I've got the potatoes out, but it is hard. There's no way you could plant in it. I'm hoping to get some rain, a cultivator on it, see if we can break it down, but some rain would be really, really beneficial, but it's not much good. Sort of, we've had a bit of light drizzle this afternoon, it's not even wet anywhere. I've put the weed control fabric back, didn't know whether to or not. The only real reason I've put it back is because I don't want too many beds uncovered for weeds to grow freely, although having said that, until we get some wet weather, the weeds aren't growing that freely. But here's, if you remember, our early potato bed Casablanca came out of, has been sown with a green manure. Go on, you're alright. A green manure crop. And the problem is, which is the green manure crop? It should be grazing rye, and we have lots of little green seedlings emerging that I don't think are the grazing rye, and then we've got some longer red tinged tall seedling leaves that I think might be grazing rye. We're having a second cup of coffee this afternoon, so I'm going to have to head back to the shed because the kettle's boiling its head off. So interesting. I'll have to try and find out which is grazing rye, but whichever, we're going to have some weeds growing in that plot that will need taking care of. Either hopefully the grazing rye will crowd out whatever the other weeds are. You'll have to watch this space to see if that's what happens.